Can you hear me now? Can you all hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yeah, I think I'm now audible. So I was saying, if you have been using the action plan that I showed you how to, this one, if you have written everything down like I had taught you in the previous lesson, you will now be able to connect the dots when it comes to coming up with your target audience. The target audience is the one that will inform your marketing strategy, and it's the one that's going to help you narrow down your marketing, which skills you're going to market, because you're going to come up with your target audience using geographic location, using your target audience level of income, age, gender, and so on and so forth. So please let me know what you do for a living so that I can be able to give examples with your skills. So let's come here, and the one thing we are going to consider when we are talking about target audience is we are going to consider demographic, and this is your target audience: age, income, gender, and education. The other thing we are going to consider is their geographic location. Which country do they belong to? Okay. And which language do they speak? The time difference between you and them. And also, you have to consider their perception, because if you're working with people from different parts of the world, there is a way they perceive you because of your religion, because of some stereotypes, and because of so many other factors. The other thing is occupation. You have to consider your target audience. Are they entrepreneur? Are they students? Are they employees? What is their job position? And so on and so forth. Their competitive landscape, and this will help you understand your target audience better, and help you identify the gaps in the market. Then we have psychographics. These you consider personality traits and belief system, and so on and so forth. Then we have challenges and pain points, and then we have technological proficiency, and then we have something like feedback. The feedback your your target audience gives you is very important. Now, I know most of you view this like motivational speaking, but these are some of the things you consider if you want to become successful in freelancing. When I tell people you have to look at these things in this way, they think you're just telling them things from nowhere. But this is a crucial stage for anybody who wants to be discovered, any type of business that want to be out there. And freelancing is a form of business, okay? A lot of people don't understand that freelancing is a business, okay? Is a business because you have to look for clients, and you have to know how to handle them, okay? So when it comes to demographic, you need to consider the age of what the people you are targeting. What is their age? In my case, I work with women who are over 40 years. Okay, I work with both men and women who are over 40 years, because for me, I think people who are above 40, because I deal with teachers, lecturers, and coaches, they are likely to have credible information when they are creating their online courses and when they are selling their books, because they have years of experience. So the other thing I consider is gender. So is your product or service gender specific? Okay? Do you want to offer your services to women only, to men only, or to the LGBTQ community? The other thing you consider is actually the income of your target audience. So if you're going to target people people who if you're going to target students, you're going to know that their parents are the one who are going to make payment. If you're going to be targeting employed people, you have to also look, are they at entry level or management level? Okay? Because people who have an income are likely to pay you than people who do not have an income. Then we have education level. So is education relevant? In my case, I only work with people who have a minimum of master's degree. And if they don't have a minimum of a master's degree, I try to look at some other resources they have put online, because what I put in these learning platforms has to be credible. You cannot give somebody a learning platforms and they do not have credible information. They are misleading people. They do not have research that can back up their work. So when it comes to geographic location, you have to consider country your target audience is from. So if you're targeting people from outside Kenya, number one, you have to consider the country. So are they from tier 1 country? And tier 1 country is usually US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. And these countries pay well, okay? But as much as they pay well, when they look at you from Africa, they see you as somebody who should be underpaid. You're from Africa, you're struggling with employment, I should underpay you. You also consider language. Let's say you go to a country, like you marketing your service in a country like Germany, in a country like Italy. Do you speak their language that they can understand? So I have a client who teaches online, and she got a student from Tanzania. And the student was speaking Swahili, she was speaking English. So can you hear me? Can you all hear me? Could you please write what you do? I will appreciate. I will appreciate if you could write what you do. Okay. So, yeah, I will appreciate, because I will have more and more examples to use when I'm teaching. So when my client went to teach this student in Swahili, in Tanzania, he could only respond in Swahili. So she was struggling to speak Swahili. And she almost gave up because that was her first client. So the person you target matters a lot. If you are a web developer and you have gotten a client from Germany and they want their website to be in German, do you think you will be able to deliver that service? No matter how, do you think you will be able to deliver quality service if you go and get yourself a client from a country that has a language you don't understand? So you also have to consider the time difference. There was a time I sold a website in Australia, and I have also dealt with people in the US. You find that sometimes you're working at 1 a.m. So the following day you are sleepy, and if you don't get enough sleep, you are moody. Okay, so it ends up affecting, if you have local client, it ends up affecting clients who are here. So if you're going to work with people from US, Europe, Australia, you have to realize these people are in different time zones. So those in Europe will need you during the day. Those in the US and Canada will probably need you at night. Are you willing to do all that? Are you willing to sacrifice your sleep and keep working? Okay. So what you do with a target audience, you decide, do I want to work with people locally, like the way I chose? And I chose people in Europe. So you find my clients, most of them are from UK, Netherlands, Germany. But I also take the ones in the US, but I tell them, please make sure we have to work. You have to work with me. If we are working together, I sleep at 10 p.m. So make sure you are available. You are available before 10 p.m. East African time. So they make a decision from what I tell them. So you have to put so many things in consideration so that it doesn't affect your productivity. okay, the language, so that you can communicate clearly. Okay, if you don't communicate clearly, you will not be productive no matter what. Okay, but if you speak something foreign, you can try. Okay, so then we have occupation, which is you consider the position of someone in an organization. Okay, occupation. So with someone's occupations, you are able to determine their income. When somebody is senior, when someone is senior, they are likely to pay you more. When someone is at entry level, they are probably even buying furniture, clothing, and all those things. Maybe your service is not a priority. So you consider even what kind of job somebody is doing. If you're going to deal with employees, you consider you will understand why you consider job position, when we are doing market research next, when we are doing Google, when we are looking for clients on Google Map, and when we are using AI to get clients. You will understand the importance of the kind of profession someone is in. It's very essential. You have to ask yourself, are they students? Are they entrepreneurs? What are they? Okay, are they athletes? Are they entertainers? Okay, then you also have to consider the competitive landscape. Okay, so um competitive landscape, just a minute. I think we should go back to this work plan and fill in everything that I'm talking here. So just a minute, give me a minute. So that, no, let me go back. So that I can guide you to fill in the work plan. Please make sure in the chat you write to me your profession. I can see somebody has said they are a web developer. I will be excited to have different people. So we have said we consider things like demographic, which is age. And we have said in age, we consider what age group is most likely to benefit from your offering. Okay, so the services you're going to provide, you have to consider age. In my case, I consider women who are 40 years and above. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to write age. In demographic, I'm going to take age, and in age, I'm going to put 40 to 50 years, 40 years and above, 40 years and above. If you do not think your product need age, people's age, you can just leave that part and just move on without considering age. Because for me, I work with teachers, I work with lecturers and coaches. And if somebody is going to teach online, I want them to have credible information. Okay, you don't want to create something for someone who is going to be out here misleading people. Also, I find women who are 40 years and above are more serious than younger women. Younger women tend to play games. I do not have an issue with younger women. I just think they are not ready to make a decision as a business person the same way a woman who is 40 years old is willing. And I find that women who are this age, 40 years and above, they are more patient, because remember, in digital marketing is consistency, is patience. Digital marketing is a mindset. Okay, you can have a fixed mindset, or a flexible, you can have a growth mindset, or just a fixed mindset that is full of objections. And most women who are above 40, they have seen a lot, so their way of thinking is much better. Another thing, they are likely to be in senior positions, okay, and they are likely to have money, and they are likely to be thinking about a retirement plan. So when I approach them, if I am approaching them, I package the teaching online as a retirement plan. So when you have a target audience, you are able to even package your offering. Okay, so then the other thing I consider is actually gender. So let's go here next. Is actually gender. So when I was getting started, uh, I had unfriended everybody on Facebook. The reason as to why I had unfriended everybody in Facebook is because when I was doing affiliate marketing and email marketing, and I would invite people to my live meeting like this one, but on Zoom, and I allow people to share their camera, sometimes men would come and show things that are not supposed to be shown. Sometimes I would be sent porn links. Sometimes someone would video call me and I would answer it, and I was being harassed. That's a form of sexual harassment, and I had to unfriend everybody. And now I started focusing in groups, focusing on sharing my skills on groups that had women. So the harassment reduced to zero. Okay, so for me, the way the whole gender thing came later on. It did not start from day one. So for me, you see, you can create a product that's gender based. Like, I have a woman who is a marriage coach who only deals with Christian women. I have another lady who is Muslim. She teaches women peaceful parenting, but Muslim women. So you have to also consider the gender. So if you are going to be teaching men, then you already know it's men. And then as you evolve, you will realize which gender works with you best. For me, it was women. And when we are doing marketing, you will see how my marketing looks like. When I just selected women, for me everything became perfect. That's so I landed to women because of the harassment that I was experiencing on Facebook. So all the men that I have worked with, only 6, I got them from LinkedIn. And I look at these men's profile. When a man is at senior position, he's not likely to misbehave. When a man has shared all his everything out there, he's not likely to misbehave and disrespect you as a woman. I don't know if men go through harassment, I don't know, but personally, I was going through it. And it's sexual harassment. Okay, the other thing is income. Okay, someone's financial income will determine their ability to pay you. If you want to help people, if you're a web developer and you approach Mama Kibanda, do you seriously think she can afford your services? If you are an SEO expert, do you think Mama Kibanda, you are so passionate about people selling their products online, fresh vegetables, and you are like, fresh vegetables can be bought online and so on and so forth, and you're busy explaining to Mama Kibanda like, literally it can't work. Even her, she can't afford your services sometimes. Okay, so it's important to consider someone's financial status. A student cannot afford a website most of the time. A student, unless they are from a rich family or they have started a business that is profitable, that is the time they are going to afford your services. So someone's income is very important, and you are able to know someone's income with their LinkedIn profile. The higher they are, in work position and the company they work with, the more likely they are able to earn. If it's a business, if you're targeting businesses, the more years of experience, if a business has been there for 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years, that business is even becoming stronger. That business is likely to afford to pay you. But a business that is going downhill in terms of profit, they might not even afford to pay you. They might even be delaying to pay you when you are their freelance accountant, when you are their freelance PR, whatever you are for them. Okay? Then when it comes to level of education, you have to consider your target level of education. Mostly if you are in IT like me, okay? Can you imagine me telling somebody about a learning management system who does not even understand the importance of education? Number one, somebody doesn't believe in education, and I'm telling them I can create you a website for, okay, someone's level of education. In my case, it's very important, and for me, I work with people whose minimum is master's degree, because my area of work requires consistency, and these people have proven consistent to be consistent, and these people have gone an extra mile to pay more money at master's level. In fact, 80% of my clients are doctors. They are at doctorate, they have a doctorate. So even doing things with them is easier. I hope I'm making sense. So you should just consider someone's level of education to make, for me, it makes things easier for me even to explain these online things. Can you imagine me explaining these online things to somebody who has no education? Can you imagine if you guys who are listening to me don't have an education? It will be so hard for you to even understand English. Okay, the other thing you put into consideration. So before we continue, we come to our action plan, and we say, in demographics, if you're going to consider age 40 years and above, gender, you decide. Sometimes you can just get started without gender, and then people will now go telling you what they want. You will now see who is more interested. Then you're going to consider income. Then you're going to consider education. So for me, college degree, let's just put college degree. It's a must. It shows consistency. And then, because like I keep saying, digital marketing is consistency. You have to be consistent. And then we have income. People in senior positions or businesses that have been in business for a very long time, they are likely to have money to pay you. Okay, so so you have to include them there. Let's continue. So geographic location. So I have said, when it comes to geographic location, we have the rich countries and the other countries that are not so rich, like the countries in Africa. So you will find that when you're doing web design, you can be paid even $10,000 by people in Australia, by people in New Zealand, by people in UK, Canada, United States. And these tier one countries, these ones that I've listed here, when you're approaching them, you don't, just because you charge 50,000 here in Kenya, don't go with the mindset of 50,000 Kenyan shillings to Australia. Those people, first of all, their web designers will probably charge a minimum of $5,000. So you should go there because there is a potential of earning more. Okay? You should not go there to ruin that market. You should go there to earn more. You should put that into consideration. Then the other thing you consider is the language. When you are choosing the country to work with, just if you speak English, don't go to a German speaking country. If you speak English, Don't go to sell your services in Tanzania knowing perfectly well you're going to have communication barrier. Okay. Also, you have to consider perception. So these people in these countries, United States of America, Canada, and all those, they view us Africans as people they can, you should be cheap, you're in Africa. The other thing is even Kenyans living abroad. So a Kenyan living in the US, a Kenyan living in Canada, Australia, those countries, they will tell you, oh, sometimes they will act like they are doing you a favor because they are giving you a job, and because they have been told maybe their family call and complain how everything is difficult here. So when they are hiring you, they hire you like as if they are doing you a favor. I have gone through that a lot, and until I learned to stand up for myself, and I started telling them, hey, this is a business. I marketed myself. You found me. You're not doing me a favor. I'm not a humanitarian case. I think you should look for an NGO to help, because most of them would tell me, hey, you see, now I'm helping someone like you back home. So there is a way people will perceive you when they are outside Africa and they're giving you a job. And then if you go and list yourself in these platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, and they see you're from Kenya, they expect you to be cheap, for real. Even they are coming to those platforms to get cheap people, so you should be cheap. So if you feel your services are up at the top, if you feel you don't deserve to be underpaid, I highly recommend you use LinkedIn, because with LinkedIn, you just share your LinkedIn profile, so somebody hires you based on what they see on your profile. And if you attend my 3 days workshop, which is going to be on 5th of February, you will learn how LinkedIn, how your LinkedIn profile should be structured and what you should be posting, so that if you share with someone your link, they come and see what you share. They will hire you based on that, not based on what they have in their head. Okay? So for me, I don't list myself on Fiverr and Upwork. I just put myself on LinkedIn, and people hire me from LinkedIn and nowhere else. So the other thing is time difference. For me, I cannot work at night. So I sleep at 10, I wake up at 5. If you are not willing to work with me from 5 to 10 p.m., from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., I'm not going to adjust anything for anyone. That's where I am in my business. Sometimes, if you decide to go the international way, you're marketing yourself in Australia, you're marketing yourself in UK, in this country, in different countries, you will realize one moment you have somebody who want to see you 5 a.m. in the morning, and another one who want to see you 1 a.m. in the morning, and another one who want to see you during the day. So you end up getting disrupted, disorganized, and confused. Okay, I have gone through all that. So if you're going to deal with a country, choose if it's the US, it's the US and Canada. If you're going to be in Africa, like me, the way I'm in Kenya, it's going to be UK, Ireland, those countries in Europe that speak English. Those are the only countries I go with. Now, with things like Australia, they are just too much because of time difference, so I don't consider them so much. But I do have some people from US and Canada. So when you're going to Nini geographic location, come to your work plan and fill in geographic location. Which countries do you want to work with? Geographic location. Which countries do you want to work with? I want to work with Kenya. I want to work with UK because of where it's located. UK. And I want to work with, I have worked with people in Netherlands. They pay well. Like I have a client I got in Netherlands back in 2022. That was the first client I ever got. And somebody from Ireland, they speak English. These are very good countries to work with. So so that you manage your time properly, because they are we have a few hours difference, like 2 to 3 hours, so you don't get to sacrifice a lot. But someone in the US, you will sometimes work with them even at 3 a.m., 7 a.m., sometimes 11, and to me, I just can't. So the other thing is that these ones will pay you better. They pay better. These three, they will pay better than this one. Okay? Yeah. So those are the countries that I'm currently working with. This I have these clients from these countries at the moment. So yeah, that's it. So you are supposed to consider what's going to be favorable for you, and then the income. These ones will pay better. Don't go undercharging yourself so that you can get more clients. It doesn't work like that. You will get overwhelmed. Then the next thing we consider is occupation. So with occupation, you are able to consider job position. So if you're going to be using LinkedIn, the position of someone, for me, I go for senior positions because they are likely to have money to pay me. I do not want to offer my services free of charge. Their job type, I usually go for lecturers and coaches. So lecturers who tend to have books, they are very good customers because they have written a book. They might want to learn how to market the book. So these are very important clients for me. Also, lecturers tend to have to be looking for more opportunities. Also, if you look at a lecturer, most of the time they are may either approached by people who want to offer them a mortgage, insurance. They're just there selling them things. Nobody is there to help them monetize their skills. Okay, and they have tons of experience. So for me, I don't like doing things that are overcrowded by everybody. So I look at a specific thing, occupation. So I have said job type. If they are entrepreneur, they have to have a few, like their business is stable. Um, One thing you should look when you're dealing with a client is, have they been dealing with even other mentors? If they have been dealing with other mentor and you're probably the third or the fourth, the problem is going to be, there is going to be a big problem when working with them. They either don't implement what they are taught, or they just have issues, and you should be walking in edge. You should know you are walking on eggshells when you're dealing with someone who is jumping from one client, from one coach to the other. So if you're going to deal with a lecturer and you realize, oh, this lecturer has been taught by other people and I'm the fourth one to teach them, what is that so special I'm going to do that the other three have not done? So I highly recommend you drop this type of people. They are going to be a burden in your team. And they will tell you, you will hear them bad mouthing other coaches, and that's the same thing they are going to do to you. They probably have some high level of dependency. And if you don't want clients who are extremely dependent, look at people who are at senior positions at work. They are aggressive. That's why they have climbed up. Okay, even lecturers, they are consistent. They keep doing something. You have to look even at the gaps. People have gaps in their CV on LinkedIn. You will see them. Okay, you will know this is not a consistent person, so you will be prepared psychologically. Target audience will help you prepare yourself psychologically as a freelancer. Okay, so occupation also helps you identify their income. Okay, so if someone is a lecturer and someone is a teacher, a lecturer is able to earn probably more. If it's a principal is nice. Okay, so a principal is likely to have some cash. If it's a coach, you look at how they have been, which area are they coaching, and so on and so forth. So I hope we are together. Do you have any questions so far? Let me know in the chat if you have any question. I will really appreciate. So the other thing you look, we have said occupation is necessary. What kind of profession does your audience typically have? You should write down, are they employees? Are they professionals? Are they athletes? Are they entrepreneurs? You could be dealing with athletes as a freelancer. Okay? You could be dealing with entrepreneurs. What type of entrepreneur are they? You cannot compare someone who has a grocery shop with someone who has a spare part shop. And you cannot compare a roofing company with their businesses. Even you, when you look at them, they have money. Let's say, for instance, a farm. If you are hired by a farm that trades by a brokerage firm for trading forex to help them with their SEO, surely why would you charge those people even 100,000 Kenyan shillings? That's peanuts for a forex brokerage firm. Okay, so you have to consider, who is this person? Who is this entrepreneur? Don't go ruining the market everywhere with your low prices. Okay, if you are dealing with an athlete, you get an athlete to manage their blog or their website, you are there undercharging. Yeah. What else? Okay, yeah. So those are the things you consider. Yeah. So then you have to analyze your competitor. And in the previous lesson, we just looked at the competitors, and sometimes you can look at who they are targeting. And by reading their comment section, you will see people mentioning, they helped me do this and that, I am this and that. If you don't get that, just sit down and identify the gaps that are underserved. So when we go to the work plan here, I pointed out this skill. Google for Nonprofit. So many nonprofits do not understand Google for Nonprofit. They don't even know it exists. So if you go to these freelancing platforms, you realize that there are not so many freelancers offering the service. Start reaching out to your target audience. What I did when I realized Google for Nonprofit was not being offered so much on Fiverr, I started reaching out to nonprofit and asking them, have you considered setting up your Google for Nonprofit? And every time I made a call, they didn't even understand that it existed. That was not just in Kenya, but it was also outside Kenya. And it was in a country called United States of America, where the Google is founded. Even them themselves, they didn't know this existed. So sometimes just find out if your target audience know that your service can be offered to them. Just call them. Make a call is way much better, because you get instant no or a yes, so that you can move on. And I found myself getting more people, more nonprofit, telling me to just set it up for them, and they would pay me comfortably $100, not much, but this thing to set up is very easy. Okay, so you just identify a gap, go all in, research deeply by reaching out the target audience and proposing something to them. You will see opportunity in it, and listen to your instinct. I hope this is helpful. So the other thing is psychographics, and this is where you consider people's belief. Okay, personality traits. Okay, you cannot, someone cannot come to you and tell you, oh, I have a restaurant, and my restaurant, we cook pork, and then you, when you are, and then you say, oh, we can use a few Facebook groups to market. Then you go to a Muslim Facebook group to market pork. You cannot do that. You cannot advise a client sijui kama mnanielewa. So I cannot go to a client who owns a restaurant and then start advising them, and they cook pork, and start advising them to now market, to even to increase their market. They even start marketing to Muslim. It doesn't make sense. You have to consider people's personality traits, okay? People's beliefs and everything, the belief system of your target audience. Also, you yourself, what is your belief? What do you believe in? Personally, I get approached by so many people. I get approached even by commercial sex workers. I get approached by these people who do voodoo, and they tell me, help me market your business. But I'm a Christian and I don't believe in those things. So I usually turn these down. So you have sometimes to consider even your own personal beliefs. And yes, so another thing is this sometimes goes to the personal level. I have dealt with two professors, and one professor I did a spelling mistake, and he would just all the time refer to that spelling mistake, all the time refer to that spelling mistake. And when we were doing something, he would read my things through to just look if I have made a spelling mistake. And I was like, this is bullshit. I had to cancel. I canceled the contract, and because he was really damaging my self-esteem. So the other thing you consider is the challenges and the pain points your target audience could be experiencing, and you could just try to look at the problems they are going through. When lecturers and teachers approach me, they approach me because they want to have a place where somebody can come and watch their recorded course training and everything, and they can have a wider audience. They can reach more and more people. So they want that problem solved. The other thing is just understanding their pain point, okay? They don't want to keep designing the certificate, okay? They want to be found more on Google, so you do it with SEO, like Florence Njogu. So technological proficiency. If you're in technology, like me, you're going to, do they even read an email? Because you're going to be inviting them for a meeting through email address. So how are you going to be interacting them with work plan? Because you're going to use a CRM. When you're a freelancer, you're going to have a CRM tool, and you will want your customers to come there and see the work progress. Do they even know how to to click on an app on their phone? If they can't read an email, they are going to be difficult. They don't know how to read an email. They don't even have a WhatsApp. You should not deal with people who just make your life hard. Okay? Yes. So feedback is very important. When your target audience gives you their feedback, it is negative, it is positive. So when you receive feedback that is negative, take it as a free consultation. When you receive feedback that is positive, take it as something that's a form of motivation. So yes, that's it. So you're supposed to gather evidence, feedback, and then if whatever they have complimented you, keep doing it. Whatever they have criticized, be ready, be flexible, and fix it. Okay. So make sure you come to the action plan and you fill in everything. You fill in everything here in the action plan. So you write just write what you expect from your clients. And even this geographic location, you can leave it and put it worldwide. You can just do worldwide. occupation, you can just choose anybody. When you're getting started, you just sit down and just come up with the target audience that you want to deal with. So I don't know, if you have a question, you can come up here and ask me regarding target audience. On Monday and on Thursday, we are going to be learning marketing. Most of you, I know you will come because I know you want to know how to market your skills. But I wanted this to be available for you all to come and take a look at when you are, in case when I'm teaching digital marketing, these two have to connect. You will understand as time goes by why target audience is essential. So please come up and share, ask a question. I can see we have a web developer, we have a profession, aviator. I do not understand what this is, Susan Onyango. Professional social worker. We have Florence, specializes in SEO. So if you have a question, just come up here. Just come up here. And please make sure you have your target audience ready by Monday, because Monday we are going to learn Google Maps. And with Google Map, you need to come up with the target audience, your target audience based on occupation. So if you are a web developer, which entrepreneur do you want to target on Google Map? Do you want to target an entrepreneur who sells furniture in Kenya, or an entrepreneur who sells furniture in UK? Okay. Do you want to focus on, are you going to focus on, your target audience and even your income goal? You should have an income goal. So your income goal is the one which will help you even decide whom you want to work with. Okay. So like, if you look at a swimming pool installation business, that's a business that makes a lot of money when they install one swimming pool. Roofing company, okay, solar panel installation businesses, okay, tracking business, the long distance tracking business. If someone wants to, if you go to Google Map and you see tracking businesses and you want to design their website, you look at the ones that have a bad website. Those ones are likely to afford your service. If you're in SEO, if you're in you just make sure you know the occupation of your target audience. I'm a nutritionist. So if you're a nutritionist, do you want to approach hospitals? Do you want to approach patients? Because your target audience will determine your marketing strategy. If you are a nutritionist, do you want to work with schools? Do you want to work with schools that help children with special needs? Do you want to go to personal level and help people with autoimmune conditions? Occupation. I want to deal with individuals who have autoimmune conditions. I want to work with nurses who deal with critical illnesses and help them understand nutrition for specific patients. Occupation of your target audience matters a lot. Okay? Can I be asked a question? Can someone come up here and ask me a question? I will really appreciate. So I don't think there is anybody who has a question. So Monday will be very interesting. Monday will be an interesting day. So yeah. So guys, see you on Monday. Make sure you come up with your target audience. Okay? Yeah. So take care and have a good night. Bye.